I would personally like to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to infiltrate your space for the next 15 minutes or so. I am the one and only infamous Kentucky Yankee without a doubt. And we are rebuilding a 1968 Datsun pickup truck. I have been cleaning up the carburetor parts. A few parts I painted up in a pie pan. And here's some linkage, cleaned up and painted. We'll put this gasket here. The base will go here. 3 screws and then 1 on the side. When I bought the kit for this carburetor, I found out this is a carburetor for a 1600 engine and not a 1300. So, not sure if somebody swapped it or if I'm wrong. I know a 1300 carburetor would not have, the kit would not have fit this carburetor. My buddies and I determined that it would be okay. It might even help the performance of the truck with a bigger carburetor. Maybe the exhaust needs to be opened up just a little bit. Nice new accelerator pump. When we're really wanting to fire on it, this is for our secondaries. This must be a 2-barrel carburetor. The float was way out of adjustment, and I smelled fuel in the oil. I'm sure that's why. I like this glass, that is cool. One, 2.5. That's where it was. Maybe that's correct. Carb's ready to be installed. We are missing a piece of linkage from here to here for the choke, but it's a manual choke. I don't think it'll make any difference. I did home make a dust boot for our accelerator pump because I didn't have one. I've got a grand total of 15 bucks in this carburetor. It's ready to go on. Hopefully it'll work out good. The carburetor is going to need a pedestal to sit on. These parts right here, intake and exhaust manifold, should work just fine after I clean them up and paint them. For the exhaust manifold, I just want to try this tool right here, whatever it's called, with this brush on it. I just want to get all the loose rust off. I don't care that it's rusted. We're just going to put a little thin layer of black paint on it. A little black high temp grill paint. Not too shabby, looks pretty good. I am happy with that. By the way, if you run this paint, never paint again, because you're no painter. This stuff will not run. The intake manifold, being aluminum, will first require some self-etching primer before paint. I do love the color of that green self-etching primer, but it's time for some old blue Ford engine paint. And there's our finished product. These two manifolds need to become one before I can install the carburetor and before I can install the manifolds to the engine. The only gasket that did not come in my kit was this one right here, and it goes between these two manifolds. I was unable to locate one, so we're gonna have to make one using this sheet of gasket material right here. I think I'll punch out the holes first. I don't need to screw this up, I only have one gasket. This is the way I punch holes on gaskets. I use a little compression fitting part, centered up with a hole, and then I'll smack it. Oh, it doesn't like this stuff. This stuff's hard to get through. Oh my goodness. Let's try her again. Dang. Well, this is a first. It's not working. Nice clean hole. The drill was certainly a better approach on this situation. I am finally reaping the rewards of kindergarten, learning how to trace. I'm putting that skill to use right now as we speak. Not bad, not bad at all. Little touch-up work here. Not the prettiest thing I've ever done, but it should seal. A little gasket insurance probably wouldn't hurt, other than my feelings when it's really ugly looking spilling out the sides, but at least it'll be sealed up good. I showed you the pretty side of the gasket earlier, now you get to see the ugly side. Now for a little intake sandwich. Daggum, look what I just did with my thumb. Ah! The show must go on. Dagnabbit, I need to get that cleaned off. Like now. Nasty old red silicone. I didn't even notice on the can when I was spraying this black that it's a semi-gloss. Look how nice that looks, it's shiny. This is dull, flat. Normally grill paint, I thought was just flat like this. This looks really nice. Standard threads, these are 5/16 by 24. Weird for Japan. Can you guys see this angle on camera? The intake and exhaust manifold are like tilted this way. You can tell it mostly up here. See that angle, it's tilted like that? Because when it's in the truck, it'll tilt back like that and make it level so the carburetor float works good. All of the gaskets fit and none of them were missing until we got to the manifolds. See, this one's not gonna work. I need two. One for the top of this plate, one for the bottom. I'm gonna have to cut a couple out. The only good part about that is I get to show you my little compression fitting piece, how it'll cut a gasket. Thank you so much, Miss Buford. And there you go. I told you it worked. It's a pretty nice clean hole. Let's try another one. This one's not that sharp. Usually they're sharp when you get them, but this one's been used up. And there you go. If you doubted me, you were wrong for doing so. Shame on you. Another skill I learned in the elementary school, probably 4th or 5th grade, how to use scissors. And I'm pretty good at it. These were a little easier to make than the first one. We certainly have an issue with our fuel pump. This one does not match this one. Instead of returning it, I think I'm just gonna pop the tops off and see if I can swap them over. The diaphragms look interchangeable, and this one was hard as a rock. Do not ask how I got it out. This will go right here, like so. I've gotta hook this in here. There it is. Our little pin. I won't be able to do this on camera, will I? Perfect. $120 amp one wire alternator. Maybe we can make this fit on the engine. We got a brand new alternator, but this bracket is jacked up, see? I don't know why they did that, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. So I thought we'd mock it up. With the bracket in the original holes, the alternator is too far back, and it's messing up our belt alignment. Now we'll try the hacked up holes and see how it lines up. Now in the hacked hole position, it's much better, but it's still not quite right. I'm gonna have to do a little work to that bracket. Lights out. It's really windy outside. That's all the noise you're hearing. Wait till the power comes back on. Our bracket is very limited on how much adjustment we have here. It stops it right there, so I'm gonna have to do something about that. Spot, but I got a little confused and made a mistake. I cut this wide on the top because I was thinking, for some reason, I was going to cut it on the bottom. So when I rolled it, it would have got tighter on the bottom if the gap was wide. But instead, it got real wide on the top. I should have made just a narrow little slit, and it would have been just right for welding. Now I got like a pretty huge gap. But like most mistakes, this can be fixed pretty easily. I'll just weld it up. All fixed up. Now we have full travel. We'll call this before. We'll call this after. This is the end result, and I just spruced it up a little bit. This is part of an adjuster for some rear drum brakes. I cut it down so I could use it for a spacer on the alternator. I'm not gonna mount the bracket and alternator at this time. I'm gonna wait till I get the engine in the truck because I can't get to the motor mount nuts easy if the alternator is installed, so we'll wait to do that. These do a really good job cleaning up metal and keep the heat down while you're doing it. Couldn't be happier to have this piece prepped and ready to go on the engine, but I'm not ready to take this engine off the stand just yet. We'll wait until I'm ready to mount the transmission on the back of the engine, and that's when we'll put this on. At this point, in order to keep everybody informed, I'm gonna have to get inside, edit, and upload. The way I feel about this project is the way I feel about McDonald's. I'm loving it. So let me know what you guys think. Subscribe for updates. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.